What's up, listeners? This is Link, and you are listening to Lynk-On Media Podcast.
Mm-mm-mm.
How's it going, listeners? I am here with my buddy Trey. This is Link, your boy, and we just saw probably just a little film, that nobody has heard of, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and it's a bit of a like I'm still like sort of wrapping my head about how I feel about it. But yeah,
Yeah,
we both saw it and we can't really bury the lead. It does have a Chadwick shaped hole at the center of this movie. And the movie, I'm kind of glad the movie doesn't, lead away from it. But at the same time, I'm kind of in the camp of the recast T'Challa, you
yeah.
know. But before we get into that, I think we should probably talk about like what we took away from like I believe it's like a cultural like sort of phenomenon. The first Black Panther just sort of came out of nowhere, sort of hit us in the feels in a little bit, especially if you if you got like an African descendant in your, you know,
Yeah.
if you're any kind of African descent.
Like this representation of like this kind of movie was like so like out of left field for like any movie to even do. Like there's obviously been like black lead cast movies hundreds of times, but like this was just something where like every black person in the world like said like screw the differences and just went straight into like let's watch this together because we all appreciate it. And it was just uh for me personally, like it was just like so cool to see like little black kids like all just like group together and say, I want to be Black Panther, I want to be Killmonger, I want to be Shuri. Like it was just so cool to watch. So to follow up with this type of movie, like we'll get into the details about it later, but like the overall scope of it to just like capture the events of Chadwick's death and then lead into like, okay, yes, this happened, but also look at this badass of a fucking movie that they made. It was astonishing, honestly.
You're talking about the Wakanda Forever? How
Gone forever, yeah.
okay. Um so I would say when I saw the first movie, it at the beginning, I would say when just the idea of this sort of this African country that was not, colonized, that sort of stay away from the world and not really interact with the world that much and became so advanced. That was a kind of a concept that I don't think we've seen realized on in movies before, like
No.
Afrofuturism, like that. Never heard that term before, and that was sort of the first time this was ever a thing.
Yeah.
And at first, it sort of just hit me like in the feels of wow, like this is a African themed movie based on
Hmm.
an African king comic book superhero, and it's the cast is all black, the director, producer, all black, and it's paid for on Disney's dime, which
Yeah.
Disney's reach, especially at the time, especially at the height of where Marvel was at that time, because I believe Civil War just came out,
Yeah.
and I think it was what was it, 2018? That's when Black Panther came out. That was
2018. Yes, because
yeah,
I was 19 when I saw that. So yeah.
that's right, that's right. So it sort of just it was just like a celebration of sort of blackness, and but it's also like very in the Marvel formula, like it still
Yeah.
follows the Marvel formula a little too much for my taste. So
I would
that's
agree.
why I do have like a certain reservations about the movie. Certain special effects shots didn't work for me, that kind of thing. But
Hmm.
overall, Chadwick's performance, Chadwick, who blew the freaking door down when he did when he had the first appearance in Civil War, which he completely took that movie. That was a movie with Iron Man and Captain America and a bunch of guys, and he was sort of the highlight of that entire film. Would you say?
I would agree because especially since like this was the movie where they introduced Spider-Man into the MCU like for the
Right,
first
exactly.
time, like that's kind of crazy to think like okay, we introduced Black Panther, but he was still on par with introducing a new Spider-Man.
Right.
Like you're putting them toe to toe and like just to have chat like I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I did not know Chadwick Boseman before Civil War and Black Panther. And I was like, this guy's badass as hell. Like
Yeah,
he actually like because I remember watching Marvel Knights Black Panther when I was younger. It was like all cartoon. You can watch it up on YouTube.
I remember
It
that.
it it like Chadwick's attitude and performance to T'Challa just reminded me of that, and I was like, yo, they actually are doing Black Panther justice. Like this is
Yeah.
so cool. And so when Black Panther came out, I was excited for it. I have my reservations about some things too. Like obviously, like you said, like they followed the Disney formula. I really don't think they should have done that. Like, the details, like we can get into that later, but just like having them introduce Black Panther in this way was smart, was like probably one of the best decisions to do because if they just came out straight with a Black Panther movie with not introducing him in Civil War, I would theoretically say it wouldn't do as well. I think it was smart to introduce him into Captain America, then have people excited to see the Black Panther movie.
Right. Um, yeah, he complete like Civil War. I think, in my opinion, I think that was sort of like the best use of that character. I think he was a little bit better. A lot of people say that. They say that they didn't really think that he had much to do in Black Panther, which I disagree with.
Hmm.
But in terms of just that aggressive, that force, that new, you know, he just burst onto the scene. Like
Hmm.
Civil War is where it's at, man. Like, and especially where the fight scenes, that's some of the best Black Panther fight scenes, like bar none. I think
Yep.
in Civil War where he takes on Bucky on the building top, and then he starts getting shot at, and he just looks back, and I thought that was the roughest, and that was the point where I was like, Marvel has taken it. Marvel is the best that ever did it.
Yep.
I feel a bit differently now. I think I really don't. Yeah, we'll get into that, but back then I was like, yeah, Marvel, take my money. I will watch any Marvel movie
Yeah.
after this. So as for the first Black Panther, I did I didn't think it was like best picture Oscar winner good. I thought it was like MTV Movie Awards movie of the year good.
Okay.
It was just the coolest movie that came out that year. It was
Yeah.
like it had swag. You had a Killmonger as the villain, who was like, I mean, sure, his plan didn't make a lick
Too
of
much sense.
sense. He wanted to kill all the white people. I'm like, okay, that's ambitious, but hey, I thought Michael B. Jordan just did a phenomenal job. It I think the drawback was when T'Challa's dad like killed his own brother and then sort of just left the kid there. I was like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Why not take the kid? And then have him find out. But maybe that was like too close to Thor, because Thor was kind of that storyline. But
Yeah, I don't know if this was in the story. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think like King T'Chaka at the time knew that his brother had a son, or am I just like, did I miss that?
no, he knew.
Oh, he knew. Okay, so
He
then yeah, he's
knew.
just a piece of
And he
shit.
left the kid there. And
He's a piece of shit. Like,
yeah,
um,
he
uh, the I would agree with you when you say like it's not like the Oscar picture, but I would like I would go back to bat. Like whoever did the costume design, the set pieces, like they deserve
Oh,
anything, like and everything that like the world can offer them. Like
I
they
agree.
did that, like that whole set. The cinematography was like questionable, but just the set design and the costumes and like the makeup, and I'm just like, oh my God. This just like brings up both African culture and like futuristic like appendages to a forefront in this movie. And I'm like, I was just in awe. It was like a utopia of African culture. And I'm like, this is beautiful. But yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah.
I especially loved I liked a lot the when they were swearing him in
Hmm.
and he had to fight M'Baku on the cliffside with the waterfalls and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That stuff was really cool, but I'm just thinking to myself, why would this advanced civilization choose their leaders by in a fighting contest? Like who can swing the bigger stick better? Who can,
What
you know what I mean?
what I agree, but I'm also thinking like because they're so connected to like their tribal like old ways before like
Yeah.
they had the vibranium. What I'm thinking is that because like Shuri was even the one to say in the movie like the tradition is that like she was not about the tradition. She just wanted to do the
Right.
science shit. I think
Yeah.
the elders just kept the tradition of like this is how our ancestors chose the king, so we're continuing that. I think there would be a lot of people if they get into a politic thing in the movie, they would be like, yeah, we should not choose it this way, but we're traditional, so we're doing that. It's kind of
Yeah.
like how like they choose like how they baptize children because some people were just like, okay, my child could possibly drown in this. Like, can we not do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like we don't have to do certain things, but I think they just choose to continue tradition that way.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Certain
but yeah, I agree. Just like if you choose a king, like you should not give him a spear, and maybe like that doesn't make sense to me. But yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
that's sort of where, and we will get into it in Wakanda Forever, but that is sort of like what holds me back. Uh that it sort of irks me a little bit, the Afrofuturism, where it gets to the point where, oh, I got beads that can do anything, and I have these holographic sort of machineries and stuff like that. And then you have like, and then Wakanda Forever, the one thing that made me like just face palm was when they opened the gates with the drums, the water drums. You beat on
Yeah,
drums and then the
yeah,
gates sort of open. I'm just like, oh my God, man. What the
Wait, why did that bother you?
because like it's the most ridiculous thing. It's like because Africans played the drums, you
Yeah.
use drums to open like the gates of
I,
it. Like it's, I
I,
don't know.
I,
Like
I understand where you're going. I understand where you're coming from because, like, if you look at it from just like, if you saw that in like New Orleans, like, you would just like, okay, what the fuck? But if you're looking at it from like their, um, let's say their culture and like their tradition, like maybe that's just like what they like put into it. Like, here's a good example. When you go to New Orleans, you go to Mardi Gras.
yeah,
Everybody flashes their tits and throws beads, and everybody
right.
says like that's the way it is. Doesn't make any fucking sense, but that's the way they do it. That's the only way I can look at it. Like you don't
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna
really?
play a steel pan to open up my driveway. Okay, like I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? Like if I
Yeah.
go into battle, I'm not gonna wear like a like carnival costume or something like. You know what I'm saying? Like it's,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's appropriate for what they're trying to do. Like it's
I don't know either. Like, yeah, I would agree with you where you like say, okay, there are some things where you can literally just push a button and that would make more sense. Like even in Marvel Knights, like they don't have like when they have technology, they just have fucking computers. They don't use the drums. They just use like
that's
okay,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like
okay,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna.
yeah.
Why would you go into battle with spears? You have a means to make energy weapons, non-lethal like forces and stuff like that, and you choose a spear. It's like
Well,
you don't
okay.
need to.
Here's where I make the argument for that. When you use like battle appropriate things, like for in Wakanda, like it's effective versus like when Americans like again back to Marvel Knights when they use guns, it
Yeah,
would just be like defective in their city because one, vibranium is bulletproof, it cannot get through anything. So
right,
when
right.
you use spears, like that's one, that's traditional, and two, it's a long range weapon with a lot of effects, and you can use the spear for multiple things rather than just like spinning and poking. Like when you use vibranium, it's used for different things and different combos and stuff like that. So I think
Okay,
like
fair enough.
possibly when you make a vibranium weapon, they don't use it to make the American guns. They use it to make something like Shuri's like Jaguar gauntlets, where it just shoots like sonic waves and shit.
Sonic wait, okay. You see, that's sort of practical because it's a non-lethal weapon, and it's it makes a little bit more sense. But if you're like fighting a person with a gun, you're not going to use a spear. Like that's one of the things that made me just kind of shake my head, uh where they're on the ship,
Yeah,
and the soldiers come in and they ask for access to the vibranium, and the
vibranium.
vibranium.
Yes.
Wow, that was a senior moment. So they ask to open the doors, and then the Dora Milaje come out, and then they shoot the Dora Milaje, which it makes sense at the time, and then they just spin the thing, and then all the bullet like that's a
Yeah,
Jedi trick.
yeah,
You have to have the
yeah.
Force to do that. Come on.
Yeah, that part I was kind of like, okay, but
but
yeah, yeah,
but anyways, we'll definitely get more into that. Let's hear so we both agree it's first Black Panther, pretty good movie, not
yeah,
as Oscar worthy as people say it is, but it's very solid. It's a very solid Marvel I've been wanting to see a Black Panther something ever since I saw the Jamon Hansu cartoon on BET back in 2003, like
yeah.
years ago. So just seeing it realized it's, and especially with one of the best black actors out at the time, because I saw him in his other stuff and he's excellent. Like he was James Brown, he was uh Smokey Robinson. Shit, I forgot his name. The baseball player in
Jackie
41.
Robinson, Jackie Robinson,
Jackie Robinson. I said Smokey Robinson. What the fuck?
Smokey
But yeah,
Robinson.
yeah, shit. Anyways, but Jackie Robinson, excellent as that, excellent as James Brown. I'm like, this is the guy. He's he's gonna win Oscars. He's gonna go on and do great things.
Yeah,
And tragically that that came to a short. But what he did, especially after he got the diagnosis and after he was wrestling with it, he was still working and he was still out there and trying to leave a legacy, and
that surprised me so much. I don't think anybody was aware like he had something during the
it's a very
time he.
small circle.
Yeah, it was a very small circle that knew. And when I read that he had it while he was filming Black Panther up until I think it was 21 Bridges was probably one of his last ones. I'm
Yeah,
like, he didn't miss a fucking beat. Like he was just on point. Like there was no indication other than like the Instagram post that he posted before. But there was nothing. He looked buff. He was lean. Like he didn't look sick. Like he generally looked healthy. You couldn't like if someone said to me like, yeah, you should probably know like Chadwick's like he has cancer in Black Panther. I'm like, no, he doesn't. Like he doesn't even look sick. Like that
yeah,
I don't know. Like when I found out that he passed, my first reaction, I swear to God, I thought like somebody killed him because the sickness didn't even cross my mind. And
right.
then when it was revealed that he was actually battling like can't, I'm like, oh my God, because like when I saw the Instagram post, I thought, oh,
Yeah,
he's just losing weight for a role, and like
that's what I thought.
I was like, gee, like he's really dedicated. He's doing like a Christian Bale type of thing, but he was sick.
I
Oh my
wanted
God.
to I wanted to stop. I was like, I don't want to see any more Marvel movies. Like that was where I think they should just stop the entire thing. That was my first thought. My first thought was well, my first thought was like this is a tragic sort of moment, and then afterwards I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to see another Marvel thing without it with
Yeah.
him in it. So okay, so well, I was gonna leave this for later, but since we're on the topic, let's get into hashtag recast T'Challa.
Yep.
Now, my thoughts on it is that I am for it at some point, like maybe not now, maybe now was too soon, but at some point we need, if this Black Panther thing is going to go further in the movies, I would want a T'Challa. I would want that
Yes.
character
Yes.
because that is who we grew up with. That is who Black Panther is. T'Challa. Like, yeah, there's a very short stint where Shuri was to Black Panther, but it's when you sort of make these things a mantle, it's very sort of hard to detach yourself from. Like when you think of Spider-Man, you think of Peter Parker. When you think of the Flash, you think Barry Allen. When you
Hmm.
think of uh
Iron Man, you think of Tony
Iron
Stark.
Man, Tony Stark, Batman, Bruce Wayne.
Bruce. Yeah.
Like these are the guys. When you sort of change it, it sort of ceases to become, what you remember. And I've mentioned this before. We've had this conversation before. The passing down the mantle type thing, it doesn't work a lot. We'll get into if Wakanda Forever like did it well or not.
Yeah.
But as for going in, I was very hesitant.
Me too. I was all for like recasting, like not right away. Like I was just like, yep, like stop Black Panther, like we don't need to continue. But then as I started looking at it from like a director's brain, and once again, Ryan Coogler made the good decision in Wakanda Forever. I'll get into that later, but I think that recasting in a future down the line, like let's say for example, like Wakanda Forever wasn't in production and they shelved it for like 2 years down the line because they
Yeah,
wanted to recast him. I would have been fine with that. I would, in a grand scheme of things, like I would want Chadwick Boseman to always be Black Panther. I don't think there would be anyone better. I think like if he wasn't sick, he would have been like this would have been his legacy. Kind of like how Heath Ledger was Joker, that's his legacy.
yeah.
I when he passed, I was like, okay, yep, that's it. I don't want to see Black Panther. But then when you get into the realistics of it, Black Panther, the character of T'Challa, is so iconic for everybody that grew up
That's
with
what I'm
it.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's like you can't get rid of it. Like I I just can't see a Black Panther uh lineage without T'Challa. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I love what they did in Wakanda Forever, and we'll get into that later. But I still think like if you had T'Challa versus Namor
Namor.
in this movie, I swear to God, this would have been rocket ships ahead. Like this, like the dynamic would have been just exquisite.
That would have been that. It would have been the best thing in Phase 4. Just
Yep.
even with this version of Namor, I think if Chadwick were to take on him and with this sort of storyline and everything, it would have been something. It really would have been
Oh
something.
God.
But
Like uh, this okay, so obviously like I don't want to like say like who I want as T'Challa because I don't want to like put that out there, but like if you were to cast somebody, it would have to be like I'm not even sure because like when you want to recast an iconic character, it's really tough. Like who are you going to replace? Like perfect example, when Hugh Jackman retired, everybody was doing fan casting
yep.
and no one had a lick of sense of who could replace Hugh Jackman. Like,
People were saying One of the funniest was who's the Harry Potter guy? The Harry Potter, the guy who acted as
Oh,
Harry Potter.
oh my God. Why am I forgetting his name?
Yeah, I blanked out on him.
Oh, wow.
Like I just blanked out. Like
It's gone. Okay, I'll just say Harry Potter. Yes. Like they actually said Harry, like he could play Wolverine.
yeah, they said
No, no.
Daniel Radcliffe. That Daniel
Okay.
Radcliffe, because well, he's short and he grows a beard. That is the only thing they have to go on Daniel Radcliffe. And Daniel Radcliffe shot that right down. He was like, I just spent like my youth playing a famous character. I'm not gonna spend my adult life playing another character. I'm not
Yeah,
doing that.
that's no. Oh, wow. Oh, I can't believe I missed this freaking train of thought. Okay, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with you with that, but when they recast people in Batman in the Batman movie arcs, like they always do a different timeline of when they recast it. I think what happened with this one is like there's no way that like the that Marvel and Ryan Coogler they did not have a meeting about possibly recasting him. There's no way that they didn't.
No, they I think
Yeah,
they shot that down really quickly because well, if you like how Nate Moore, the producer of the first Black Panther and Eternals and all that, like how he said it, and I kind of see it his way, where he's like he was. They had meetings about it, they talked about it, and they didn't feel it was right to make a movie where it wasn't having somebody else fill that role just didn't feel right to them.
yeah, which absolutely, in all honesty,
Yeah,
makes so much sense. Like you do not want to put that pressure on also the movie, the
yeah,
actor who has to replace Chadwick, and also like the second coming of like $1 billion movie.
yeah,
That is insane amount of pressure for everyone involved.
yeah. And
That that
I mean, it's a very tough position to be in, especially like being the producer. And I'm sure he gets asked that a lot, about like the recasting of T'Challa or killing off T'Challa and all that sort of thing. I'm sure he gets that a lot. I'm sure like this is not an easy decision to get to, but
no.
I also understand the fans who are just like, you know what, f this, f this. I want T'Challa. I am not watching a movie where Shuri is Black Panther. Spoiler alert:
Yeah,
Shuri
spoiler.
is the new Black Panther.
Oh, like it wasn't like it was a huge surprise to,
Yeah,
oh my, like okay. So
big surprise.
yeah, but okay, here's my honest opinion because like
Yeah,
we're slowly getting into this right now. I didn't mind what they did with Shuri in this movie. I think it felt organic and I think it actually made sense. I believe I was believing that Shuri was an amazing Black Panther. I
yeah.
actually liked it.
I did I like it? It's a conflict for me. It's a bit of a conflict for me
Why?
because I feel like the story that she was given,
Mm-hmm.
how basically she was a woman of science, how the movie starts. Well, we're gonna get into the movie now.
Yeah.
She's a woman of science. She's given this brilliant mind. She can do create all of these things, but she can't even save her brother. And the fact that you put that is like Superman levels of emotional conflict there, where you have
Yeah.
all of these powers, but you can't save the one you love.
Yeah.
All of these abilities, all of these technology, intelligence, all of that, and you can't even do that. And then you have this sort of tugging of you have this dilemma where she's sort of in the science realm. She doesn't believe in like the spiritual world. She doesn't.
No.
Her mother's like telling her about there should be lineage. There should be, another Black Panther. There should be all of this tradition, all of that. And she's like, how, why, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
She kind of throws that. And then in an interesting twist, as she loses her mother. Another spoiler alert: she loses her mother by that attack on the city by Namor,
Yeah.
and she becomes the Black Panther out of revenge. Now, this kind of echoes T'Challa's first foray as in Civil War.
Yep.
It echoes that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sort of like, oh no, she's going to that dark place. She's taking on the mantle for, selfish reasons.
Yep.
And that moral dilemma. And even when M'Baku comes to him and he's like, I don't think your mother wants this for you. I don't, that is some pretty powerful stuff. We'll get into that more, but like, what is your overall, let's give like a short overall thing of what you think of the movie. So as is.
The movie as is was like it exceeded my expectations. I didn't have a lot of like hopes and things for it because like there's a lot of things missing and a lot of things that they wanted to portray. And just like the overall impact of it, I felt a lot of stuff. Like there was stuff that I did not think I was going to feel. I was
Right.
hesitant about the Black Panther, I was hesitant about the villain, I was hesitant about them missing Chadwick. And I'm like, this all just like went away from me because I enjoyed it as a fan. Like I
Right.
was a fan of Chadwick, but like as a fan, I genuinely enjoyed this movie. I was on the edge of my seat. I was emotional. I was happy. I was excited. I was everything. And I did
Right.
not know this movie could do that because if I'm Phase 4 MCU has not impressed me by far. Like there is nothing that made me just go, "Oh, that was amazing." Like nothing like that. This hasn't hit me as good since Spider-Man No Way Home.
No Way Home. Right.
Yeah. But
So
yeah.
my thing about it, I liked it. I wouldn't say that I loved it, but it did make me feel some things was when it really hits, it really hits like
Yep.
emotionally. It works. I think Angela Bassett, her acting
Oh.
was amazing in this. She
Mm.
definitely deserves at least an Oscar nomination for
Yep.
this. I think M'Baku, who wasn't in it so much, I think really does. He has great material to work with, and
Yep.
he was Winston Duke is just great as this character, and he's sort of taken on a big brother role. Like he in the first one he kind of scoffed at her. He's like, "Oh, you're just a little child and whatnot. You don't believe in traditions. You don't believe in our thing. You just want to stay in your lab and do whatever." But in this, he really takes that brotherly role, and I love that. I love that about what they did with M'Baku here. There's a lot of things in here that are kind of bad. I think
Yeah.
technically, I think there was a lot of problems with the special effects. It's not like Thor Love and Thunder bad, but there are some things that shouldn't be allowed to be that bad. Now,
Yeah.
there are lapses of when you start looking at the logic of certain things and how things sort of play out, you're like, wow, this why did they I wish the writing was stronger. I wish,
Mm-hmm.
because what the movie sort of portrays and what's the movie sort of gives us is there's these women, Shuri, Okoye, Nakia. They're all like cool. I like these characters. I liked them in the first one. I think they are a lot better rendered here. I just
Mm-hmm.
wish they were smarter. I wish because there's a lot of situations here where I just feel like, come on, don't do that stupid shit.
Yeah.
One thing I would say, the final battle kind of had a Ryan Johnson battle strategy issue that I had, where okay, so you're gonna draw Namor out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Namor. You're gonna draw Namor out, but what you're gonna do is be on his own turf, and you're just gonna bring one ship.
Yeah, that
You
part really bothered me when I
you're
thought
just
about
gonna
it for more than 5 seconds.
like why is okay? So Wakanda is this very advanced nation, but why does your navy suck? You only have one ship. You have one flying thingy. Like if they were to say in one line, they could have just fixed this. Man, we blew up all our ships in Endgame. We only had this boat. Then I'd be like, okay, fine. But
Or
you
they
you
could
had a whole year. Well, actually, yeah, you had a
no,
whole
I
year to build up your
yeah.
navy after T'Challa died. So how is it?
No, you can't even do that because they print a freaking organic plant in 3 seconds. So you can't even say that. So like they could have like made the ships in less than a week.
That's right. And so that is
Here,
okay. So that's
here,
my problem.
yeah. So quickly, like the whole thing, like if they could have solved this by saying Namor damaged a lot of our equipment more than we thought he did. They could have just said that, and that would have been
That's
like
yes, exactly. Namor attacked the
the
weapons
the
depot. He blew it up. He blew up
yeah.
the dock where we have all the spaceships because they should have a lot of spaceships. They should have been attacking from the air. If they had
Holy shit! Wait, no, 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 no. They did. I forgot. I forgot they did because they were transport during the time they were battling. They were transporting all the civilians to the gorilla lands in the mountains, so they
right,
didn't have access to a lot. And they said like we're limited on stuff that we have because we had to transport the civilians out of the because they were using the freaking hovercrafts and everything to transport
right,
the
to
civilians
transport
out of
people, right,
Wakanda.
right,
That
right.
they did establish that. Okay, so yeah, I remember. They did establish that. I know it's not like
Yeah,
I
but
know
they could
they
go back and get the stuff.
yeah,
What was
yeah,
stopping them from getting the ships?
yeah, you're right. You're
You
right.
know, what was you know what I'm saying? And here's another thing. Okay, so Namor I think is kind of cool. They did change him a lot. They changed him quite a bit. They changed him to be more like an Aztec sort of character,
Mm-hmm.
and I know a lot of fans are going to hate that. And I'm going to be uh, I feel for the fans because I know for a fact they're going to do the same thing with X-Men and they're going to fuck it up. Like they are going to fuck up the X-Men. I know it. So if you're upset about Namor, I get it because in the future me is going to be right upset with you because they're going to mess the X-Men up. So I get it. Namor, but Namor was pretty tight. I think he was good. I think the actor who played him did such a good job at making him be menacing. And it's hard to make like an elf man with wings on his feet menacing. Like that's
Okay,
difficult. When
okay.
he's
Can I?
flying around, he looks like
Yeah.
Tinkerbell. Like that's
Yeah, what I was with my girlfriend and she was watching it with me, and she literally said in the middle of the fight, she says, the wings are distracting me. I can't take my eyes off of them. It just ruins it. This is keep in mind, these are for people who do not know who Namor is whatso fucking ever.
right,
So
right.
so when people watch this and they see the wings on the ankles, they're just like, why? Like they literally just are just like, why? So when every time there's the cool battle scene and I'm just like ignoring it, like people like my girl who's just sitting there just like I want to watch this cool scene, but the wings are too distracting.
Yeah, I mean, how does it even work though? Like how do wings that small on your ankles make you fly around? Like uh when Iron Man flew, he basically had to stabilize himself with the repulsors on his hands.
Yeah.
And then you have this guy who's just flying around like Tinkerbell, like all over the place. And I'm just like, what the
Can I
what
can I be
is
on can I be honest? Like they could have got rid of the wings, like the actual physical wings, and just had like a birthmark or a tattoo or something that represents wings on his ankles and glow every time he flies. Like
or yeah,
that would have
it
made more
could
sense to me.
it could have been like a vibranium shoe or something, like a vibrate like
No,
they could
no, no. You know why? You know why? Because
what
I know there are gonna be people that make memes out of that.
What,
Imagine if
vibranium shoes?
vibranium shoes that are gonna make into the next Yeezys, because I know people are gonna fucking do that, and
What,
I
you
am
mean
gonna
like the Iron Man 3s in She-Hulk?
yes, yes, they're gonna do that. I just okay when okay, my girlfriend brought up a very good point. She said to me, and this is a person who does not know shit about Namor.
Yeah.
She said, this character is so cool, but when you look at his physical features as well as the wings, it just ruins it. Because imagine like she said, like imagine if like Namor did not have wings and he still did the same things he did. He would look a lot more menacing. And I thought about it for a
Yeah.
minute and I thought, she's goddamn right.
You would have been like, yeah, those wings are really stupid.
They are, and I know what they did. They kept it from the comics, and even in the comics, they're fucking stupid. But like,
I don't think I don't think straight from the comic book adaptations work,
no,
especially especially in the context of the film. Like, this is sort of a movie that you're trying to take seriously, and then there's this guy flying around with wings on his ankles. Like, it's freaking weird. It kind of reminds me of Apocalypse, X-Men Apocalypse, where he has, in the comic books, he has Angel as one of his four horsemen, right? And he
yes.
turned him into Archangel. There are so many more powerful mutants than Angel that he could have chosen. Why is he like, this guy just have wings? You don't, you have like Magneto who can like pull like metal from the other side of the earth, but you're getting this wing guy? Why? Mix.
Yeah, you, bro. Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this then. If you're the
Yeah.
creative and somebody comes up to you and says, "Okay, we want to make Namor, but we want to keep the wings on his ankles," are you fighting to say no, or are you gonna just appease like the audience who wants it?
I'm gonna give him vibranium shoes.
I
It's
oh
like,
my
yo, I need to go to
God.
Walmart. Well, you need to go to Walmart? Yeah, you need a ride? Nah, I got these vibranium shoes, baby. I got these Namors.
Oh my God.
And he flies off.
Namors are a disgusting name for a shoe line. Like, no.
Oh, you prefer Namor?
No, 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 no.
Namor.
I don't want the name. Okay, we're gonna get into that in a second. That no. Okay.
Well, hold on a second. Okay, so he calls himself Namor, right? And they have like a
Yeah.
whole backstory about him, which I definitely think that's a Victoria Alonso ad, because she just wants to come in and change up things. Like, if she had her way, I got to go back to X-Men because I'm very scared about what they're going to do with the X-Men. If she had her
Yeah.
way, I'm sure Cyclops is either going to be, if Cyclops is white,
Yeah.
they're going to ridicule him, they're going to make him look stupid, they're going to do that storyline in the comics where Storm takes over as leader because she beats him in a fight.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
they're going to do that.
Oh
Or they're
no.
going to make him like, they're going to change his race or something like that. They're going to have him be played by I don't know, Shurin Khan or somebody. Like, they're going to switch his race,
Oh my
or
God.
or make him either Indian or something.
If
Same
they
thing what they
make
did with Eternals.
if they make Cyclops black or anything, I'm sorry, like I do not want a black Cyclops. I
They're
don't.
gonna do it.
No, I want okay, here I would not mind if Cyclops was mixed race with something. At least like if he was black and white, I wouldn't give a shit. But like if he's just pure on black, I'm like, why? It's
He's
just
gonna be
like,
played by Snake Eyes, like the last Snake Eyes
oh
actor
my Lord.
from The Gentleman. They're gonna
No,
play.
he's a fucking terrible actor. No, he's not fucking playing him.
I liked
No.
him. I
He's
like
fucking
that guy.
terrible. No, he's
He's
fucking
pretty good.
terrible. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's dry as fucking washing paint. He's
Damn.
not. No, he's not.
Your
Like,
girl should be mad at you for that, man. That's
I
crazy
don't
rich Asians right there, man. What are you
I
talking
don't
about?
she doesn't even watch that. I don't give a shit. She doesn't even watch that. Yeah, okay.
You know, I
Back
apologize. I apologize to your girlfriend. Trey's
why?
girlfriend's Asian, by the way. I apologized to her for not liking Shang-Chi.
I remember that.
You remember that?
You're such a dick. I remember that. You know what? Because you know why? We were on a phone call and she says, "Oh yeah, by the way, Darren messaged me." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And she said, "He apologized for not liking Shang-Chi," and I was pissed. And I'm like, I thought about it for a minute, and I'm like, "Oh, Daryl's just trolling." And I said, "No, he's just trolling." And then and she was like, but it made me mad for some reason. I don't. I was just like, babe, why? Why? Like, it's not that serious. It's, for context, every time Link sees something that I like, he comments in my Instagram and he goes, "Nah, it's a 4 out of 10. Nah, it was trash." And every time I hate something, he goes, "Nah, this is great. Nah, this actor was fucking amazing." Like he trolls me every time I dislike or hate or like something. And it always
Hey
just makes me
man.
like it ruins my momentum. And I'm just like, thanks, dude.
Yeah, you need to bring it down, man. You gave this a 9, man.
I did. And okay. Okay. Here's why I'm gonna tell you why I gave it a
Okay.
9. Uh, okay. How they portrayed around T'Challa's death makes sense to me. It actually kind of makes sense. Um Spoiler alert, like obviously, like a lot of people die in this fucking thing. So when they open with the scene of like, okay, he's dying, like this, we're not even seeing him, he's just dying. And we're not even seeing Black Panther for a majority of this movie. It is strictly a Wakanda-based movie with no Black Panther, and I was still enjoying it without the Black Panther. And
There is
when we
no Black Panther in this movie. Like,
there's
not
not.
even
There,
like
there's not. But you know what? It still is an effective movie with no Black Panther in a Black Panther movie, which says a lot. And this is one of the reasons why I still give it high praise. When you tell a story about a death of a main character, you do it in a way where like it just does not go, okay, he's dead. Now we have to make a whole new mantle or make a new protege. Like they did not do that. We said, okay, we
yep.
have to move on and protect our country and move on from this while still mourning, and they did
Okay.
it effectively.
I think yeah, I agree with you there in terms of okay, so the protector is gone, and now it's like, okay, what do we do? We have the world is coming at us. There are people who are coming for our reserves and coming to take us out. And then you have Namor who's in close proximity and he's getting the heat. His people has never been, you know, and it's kind of weird. Up to now, we've never seen any of these blue fish people. You know what I mean? Like we've never
Yeah,
seen the telecon people. But it is what it is. They are
I
very good
mean,
at hiding. So,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
but it's kind of cool that now there's this other nation, and that I really liked Namor's position of what reason do you have to reveal all of this to the world? Like you guys were so good as a secret. Why
yeah.
would you do this? And look at what you're doing to us. You're bringing heat on us. There are vibranium detectors in my backyard because of what you guys did, because of what T'Challa did.
That
So
his motivation made more
yeah,
sense than Killmonger's. His made
agreed,
so much more sense.
agreed. Although how he goes about it is kind of dumb.
No, okay. Here's where I'm going to disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Because remember, he gave them chances to say, okay, I do not want to go to war. I don't want to have any beef. Let's make an alliance. And yes, my methods are going to be conquering, but this only became about when the humans infiltrated my camp.
Right.
And the only thing I will disagree on, like it would make sense if the Americans killed one of his people, but that did not happen. So
No.
he has no reason to realistically go to war with the surface world unless like a part of his city is crushed, a close member of his family died or anything like that. The only motivation he really has was from his backstory. But even then, he could have just said, I wanted to go to war years ago, but my people weren't ready. But it seems
Right.
like they've been ready for fucking decades. Like I
Nah,
don't.
they're ready. They're ready to like when they took out that ship with the vibranium detector, which was the most badass thing I've seen Marvel do in quite some time.
Yes.
Like it reminded me of Winter Soldier when Cap like take goes onto the ship and just takes out all of these battalions with his shield and stuff like that. It was that cool. And how Namor was introduced in that scene with the music and it was dark and everything like that. That's fucking cool. Like
Yeah.
I got to admit that's fucking cool. Where it goes downhill for me is when Riri Williams comes up
Oh,
because
oh Jesus Christ.
so here's my thing. I actually like the actress. I think the actress did a really good job. I think she has
Hmm.
really funny lines to say, but I feel like every time she's on screen, they're just trying to rush out like her backstory is like, yeah, she's from MIT. She's very super smart. She created this vibranium detector. She has her father died. She has an Iron Man suit. What is it? Stark Tech? You know, it's like
Yeah,
slow the fuck down.
okay, you answer me this because you know character development as well as I do.
Yeah,
I 1000% believe in my mind if they did not have Ironheart, but they had Riri Williams as the character and just said she's a super smart person that got recruited to build it, but she did not have the Iron Man suit, I think it would have made no difference whatsoever. I think if they just said this little girl made a smart machine and we have to keep her safe, but we
right.
only gave hints of like I was inspired by Tony Stark. Maybe one day I could create something that will remember him and whatever. Like she's inspired by him.
That would be nice if you could tie it in with something else. Oh, there's not even a line. She just has a suit. She just has it.
Yeah, there's no like she just happens to be Ironheart. And
Yeah,
like okay, for people who do not know comics as like Riri Williams, she's a freshly new character in comics. So it's not like where it's like Miles Morales where there's like comics and lore. Riri Williams does not have a lot to work with. So I understand that there's a certain thing where Marvel can't and cannot do with this character. So when you introduce a character like this who is really, really fresh, it's kind of difficult to navigate around that. So again, I'm not mad at the actress for this type of character that she brought because she's charismatic as hell, and I love what she
yeah.
brought on screen.
I
But
thought she was good.
I just don't think Ironheart, the character, as like first of all, she's not approaching the Iron Man. That's not a thing here, so that's not the case. But to introduce that was just like no, and the CGI for that goddamn awful suit was just like out loud in the theater. I'm the only one who did this. I swear on my life, out loud, I said, "Dear God, this is terrible." I said that
Yeah,
out loud, and
it
my
was
girlfriend looks at
so
me and
bad.
she looks at me, she goes, "Why? Why you say?" I said, "Because this is fucking terrible. That's
It
why."
it looks so bad. It
It just
really is. And
also.
I've seen the action figure for it. And when I saw the action figure, I was like, well, you know, this looks kind of decent. When you see it rendered, it just looks atrocious. It looks, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of those Japanese AI robots that
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, like it says, "Oh, hello," you know, and it comes to you and it shakes your hand and stuff like that. I actually met one in Toronto. I can't remember. There was like this expo, this technology expo that I found myself in, and he said I was handsome. Like he looked at me, he scanned me, and he said I was handsome. And that's what Riri Williams looks like. That's what Ironheart looks like. It's like the shape of a heart. Like it
Yeah,
just
no. You know what it looks like to me? You know that movie where Hugh Jackman was in with boxing robots?
yes.
That's exactly what that suit looks like. Just one of those robots.
It looked like a cutesy version of one of those. Like it
Yeah,
looks
okay. So I, I did not mind how they introduced her. It's kind of like what they did with like Spider-Man. Oh, I know a smart kid. How? I don't know, but like here she is. So I'm not mad at that because they did it with Spider-Man, and I can't be a hypocrite for doing that. So
They did it better there though. They did it. They
yeah,
they they, they slowed the
no,
movie down, and they're like, "So,
no,
kid, what are
no,
you up to? What is this? And what is that?"
no,
Same thing with Black Panther in that movie. Like, it's just better writing. The writing
no.
was better.
Okay, yes and no. I don't think they did it better because here's why. Tony Stark just like finds this kid because he wants to recruit him. Like if he had that much access, why couldn't he find the Eternals? Why couldn't he find somebody else that's more high level? Like that part just didn't make any sense. But for this one,
That
I
agreed. That part didn't make any sense. But in terms of character, in terms of building a character to continue onto other films, building a relationship
oh
between
yeah, yeah.
Tony and thing like same thing with T'Challa. T'Challa was building a relationship with Black Widow. And
Yeah.
there's like a little thing there, and there's like little moments of there's a reason that those characters are there, even though they're basically just there to set up other films. But this, she just kind of sticks out. She
No,
sticks out, and it's just
uh no, here's why I didn't have a problem with how they did it because how they set it up is like we have a scientist that made the vibranium detector. Who is
yeah,
the scientist? Well, the blueprints came from one of the schools in Wakanda. Like this is a
right,
Wakanda built school. They would have records of who did it. And obviously when you hire teachers, like they're probably going to be somebody that's corrupt and want to use the designs to make something. So
yeah.
when a student who's super smart got accepted and creates a vibranium detector, knowing that vibranium is now public to the entire world, it is not out of the realm to have somebody who's super smart to figure out how to detect it and use it as a science project. And then the scientist takes that said design, gives it to the government, and then they manipulate it in their own technology with their super smart scientists to use it. Because in the movie, she clearly says, I just made that for a science project that wasn't finished. I just gave it to my professor. I didn't know shit about it. So the way that they set that up, I was not mad at it. Because if they
I
just
was
said, yeah,
man, that's just it just seems so thin. Like, oh yeah, this was a school project because I'm super smart and I just gave it to my professor and this da, da, da. It's like she wasn't part of like a super secret project. And if they do have a vibranium detector, why didn't they make two of them? Why is it only one? Do they not have materials to create two? And who is it that has the plans? Yes, she was the one that came up with them, but who are the other people that implemented that? Shouldn't you try to find them and kill them too? You can't just kill this one person. If she dies, there's still the plans somewhere on her laptop in the lab wherever they created this thing. So it's like
I
you just
understand. I understand, but creating the vibranium metal detector makes more sense than her just having a casual fucking Iron Man suit in a garage.
okay, yeah, that's stupid. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that no, like come on, no, no, you don't have an Iron Man suit in a garage. You don't, and it works. No, you don't.
and and
No.
and it's fully stocked, and she's able to blow up a bunch of police cars, which is against the law, by the way. She broke the law.
I think there's a lot of laws broken in this movie, but let's not get into
Well,
that.
yeah, fair enough. But but you see, that's sort of my point. It's just not well thought out. It just
No.
feels like, yeah, we need Ironheart in here somehow. The script's good so far, but we just need to have this because we got the show coming. We gotta, you know, and everything that like her whole character development is just rushed out. Like we need to like let the audience know that she has a dad who died and she's able to create like her own Iron Man suit and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, we just need that information out there. We just need because we need to set up the next thing. We need to set up the next thing. It's like there's no care to it.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it would make any difference if they named this character Rachel, and they gave her she's super smart, and she built this without the and there was no IMS suit involved. Do you really think it would make any difference?
I think it would be better if there was no suit at all.
I agree. Because even in the
Just
final fight,
take
it made no fucking difference to me.
take all that out. And another problem is that it's sort of the same plot as the same introduction as Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange 2.
Why?
Well, this girl has to be protected because the bad guy wants to come and kill her for some reason.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, yeah. I
It's the
can see
same
that.
shit.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. But okay. Let me get back onto when you introduce a new character like this, because the MCU is not strangers to doing this. I think this was uh no, I can't even say that. I was gonna say it was done better than America Chavez, but it wasn't. It's just like I don't
Was it
think she
done
was
better?
even no, because America
Well, that
Chavez
was
was
well, that was shit too. Like I didn't like how they did America Chavez.
I think they did her poorly. Like they nerfed her so fucking bad. But anyway, um, I don't think Riri Williams was needed. And again, I don't hate the actress. I just did not like. I didn't agree how they put the character on screen.
Does it
So
make you want to watch a show?
no, no, and no, because because here's the thing. I'm not a fan of the Riri Williams in the comics because there's not a lot to go off of. Like you can't make me invest in something I don't have material to go with.
But she's black, Trey. She's
And
black.
and
That means something.
to who? To who?
Black people.
Oh, okay. Power to the people. Anyway, moving on.
Better characters. We just want better written
I just want
characters,
better
okay?
characters, man.
Just
Like
original, better written characters. You know what? This whole Riri thing is getting me upset. Let's talk about Angela Bassett again. Now,
that queen is chef's kiss. Just oh, she just stole this whole movie and I enjoyed it.
and she died because of Riri fucking Williams.
So, okay, when she died,
Yeah,
I actually like was like, oh, she's gonna come back. And I was, oh, they actually went for it. Holy shit. Like I was actually genuinely surprised. I was like, they made her a forefront in the trailer. I was like, there's no way they're gonna
true.
kill her. And I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa.
To be honest, I had a delayed reaction because I was
Why?
like, "Oh, so they killed a okay, that makes sense." Because no, yeah, because my
Can I?
mind was like, I was just basically thinking as okay, I'm the writer. I need this to really punch home. Somebody has to die in this situation. That's why I thought M'Baku was going to die. Like when
No, I
he
knew he
came
wasn't.
over, like when he jumped over
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I
and
thought
he
he was dead there
attacked
too.
Namor, and then
I
Namor just punched him. I thought that was it for him.
I thought he was gonna be dead too.
Yeah. I also thought Okoye, the fight on the bridge. Let's talk about that. The fight on
Okay.
the bridge is a tight fight, but I thought Okoye was going to die.
I knew she wasn't, but okay, explain why you thought she was gonna die.
It just felt like they took the music out, and then it just started getting like you
It
could tell like she was on the back foot, and it just seemed like that was the moment where when Luke Skywalker was running to the Millennium Falcon, and he looks over and sees Obi-Wan fighting Vader, and then
yeah.
it's that moment where the mentor character dies to
Yeah, but
make.
I
But then they
get it.
delayed it and they killed the mother. So
I get it, but like this is why I give it a 9 out of 10 because like it is so effective at making you feel like okay, somebody might die here. Versus like in other movies, okay, well, they're not going to kill him. Like, why does it look
yeah,
so intense? But in this
yeah,
movie, they actually make you go on the edge of your seat. Okay, who's actually going to die here? Like, they were not afraid to remove positions, make people die, and also change up shit.
yeah. Nobody had a Disney Plus show other than Riri Williams, so you anyone could have been killed. Any
I
of them.
so okay. I loved this. This is what sold me Namor as the villain. After he kills the queen, he looks at Shuri and everyone in that room and says, "Bury your dead, mourn your loss. You're the queen now." Uh, That line was the most badass thing that I've heard from a villain in MCU 4 by far. That was just like I looked at my girl beside me and she was even like, "Oh shit." Like
Yeah.
she would like my girlfriend is not a nerd by any means of the word, but when she watches stuff and she gets in awe, that's how I know it was good. Like it hits you different when you hear that you're the queen now. It's like, okay, you're the queen now and you're next. That was just like, it's done. It's done. That was just like,
I,
it
I
got me.
really, I just really like that he would like, he's not afraid to just go up in your face and be like, I'm going to kill you.
He's ruthless.
Like, be my ally or, or I'll kill you, dude.
But
Like,
and also and
that's,
you can also sympathize with him because he's a leader to his people. So you're not hating him for the sake of hating him. You literally just like, okay, you know what he has? He has the Vader complex. You know he's terrifying, but you know how he treats his people and his men when he respects them. Like you can sympathize with the villain in this situation, but you also realize like, okay, when he's like, okay, perfect example. Remember like when they were having a conversation and then water started flooding. Everybody in my
yeah.
theater was like, "Oh shit." And then everything just like exploded and water was coming. And then you saw like Namor flying and destroying ships. Everybody was on the edge of their seat, like, okay, shit's going down. That's exactly what it sold me.
No, I agree with that. Okay. So we have a new guest. This is my brother. Do you want to use your government name or we're going to use your,
Oh, he's
you saying one sec? What's
Yo,
happening, boss?
yo,
there you
good.
go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Are you going to
Yeah, we can
use
hear
your
you.
government name or are you going to use T-Bisket?
Let's do T-Bisket.
All right. Welcome, T-Bisket.
What's good? What's
So
good?
T-Bisket, Trey, T-Bisket.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, man?
All
Good,
right. So
good.
we're halfway into the conversation of Black Panther. Trey likes it. I hate it because I hate black people, I guess.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. That I knew it. It's the
is the
where
Trump
you live
bumper
again?
sticker that I the
Where you live again? It's an Orange County thing. That's it.
Orange County.
Republicans got to him.
I bleed red, man, because I'm a human being.
That's
Anyways,
my
moving
way
on.
right
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I guess like just to like jump in, thoughts and all that shit. I guess rating, starting with rating, I would give it like maybe 8.5.
Okay.
yeah, man. You guys really rated
And
high,
then
man.
and then maybe after this conversation, it could be like an 8. We'll see how that if that happens. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think it was hella dope. It had really great moments,
Mhm.
like action and stuff. I think it surpassed the first one when it comes to that.
When it comes
Um,
to action, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Except for
that
the final battle scene.
Yeah. Wait,
that's
yeah,
the war, which is a skirm, is so small scale to me. I
it
think
is.
I'm like, mm, yeah,
I
that
think they could have made it a little bit more effective, like with the water versus the land of like actually Wakanda versus like um what's the name of the civilization? I keep forgetting.
The Teleconians, the Telecons.
Telecon. Yeah, so Wakanda versus Telecon, like they could have made that war a lot more effective. They could have had the
yeah,
same scale as like Aquaman Atlantis war. They could have had that type of scale.
exactly.
Uh, I don't
That's
think it should be that big. I don't think it should have been that big. It should have been
Are
bigger
you
than what
kidding
it
me?
was. But
Why?
that's like 6 or 7 kingdoms right there. That's the 7 seas
Okay, but
battling it out with crab people and fish people and all that shit.
Yep, yeah, but you're talking about the whole like part of the ocean versus like a part like a whole central part of Africa. Like that should have been like you saw how many people they were in like Black Panther in Black Panther.
And
Oh,
even
that's true. That's
sorry,
true.
not in game. The first event,
Infinity War.
That was a lot of people.
Yeah,
that's a good point. You guys are right. You guys are right. But that builds up.
Scale should have been at that at least. You know.
Okay. They should have bring like at least 3 boats, not that one. Not that one freaking boat. And they don't even have like the spacecrafts that be flying around. Like you have air advantage. You're going into the sea to fight sea people. It's like at least the Americans, when they went into the jungle to fight the Viet Cong, they could carpet bomb the Viet Cong. You know what I mean? Like you, what? Make it make sense. That is some Ryan Johnson, Game of Thrones season 8 level thinking.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they could have even like have, because they have like the shield is made of some kind of like photonic thing, right? I think they could have even make like a platform made of that, at least
like an energy platform or
energy, to like have footholds, extend, or something. I don't know.
So hold on a second. When they were like introducing all the tribes that were in Wakanda, I'm thinking to myself, where the fuck are half of these people that were in Infinity War? Like all of them were not there on the goddamn boat. And I thought, okay, here's my thinking when I thought that. I thought, okay, there's gonna be a ship that comes in, there's gonna be like 1,000 things are gonna pop out of the water. It's just the one ship. And I thought to myself, oh, they just ran out of budget. Because there's no fucking way that it just brings one boat. That's like Japan bombing the Navy Pearl with like the freaking one plane. I'm like, that does not make sense. Like, no,
because I agree. Okay, so I was telling T-Bisket earlier that I thought Shuri's plan was smart, at least the first stage of it, where she's like, you're going to use the vibranium detector thing, a ruse to draw Namor out. So when he's out, you pound him with like the sound waves or whatever. That's good as is. Then they're just out there with the one boat and no air. You have Riri Williams, you have fucking Ironheart as your cover.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. We're not a fan of
okay, like that's our secret weapon, just the one girl with a makeshift Fortnite suit. Whoop-de-doo. Like I don't care.
And the 2 vibranium suits that Shuri made for
so
the girl from Chewing Gum and Okoye.
I agree with Okoye. Those things were ugly and they did not need it. Like, why were they so built up for Jack All? Like, why?
They were ugly.
So okay, they know it was ugly. That's a thing. So then why did they? I thought they were gonna like customize it. Like, oh, maybe let's have it in black, or like. I thought she was gonna like do something to the costume to make it look good, but then no, I'm like, what the hell?
Okay. Here was, I did not mind Okoye like being demoted and then become a Night Stalker because that's a natural thing in the comics. But I was like, this is ugly. Why is and the HUD designs are so degraded. Like, why are the Iron Man HUD designs always like just getting worse every year?
Oh, it does. It's a lot worse. Like,
I've never looked at that. Like,
it looked like After Effects, man. Like, it looked like they did that day before the movie released. Like, it
looks like some stuff that me and you would put together in like a day.
I could do better than that. Come on.
No. If we're rushing.
Oh, you mean like if my hair was on fire or something like that? Then,
like if a client just goes like, I need this in like 20 minutes, and we're just like rushing, just like to put something nice together. Yeah, like that's what it looked like.
That's very rushed. I'm gonna need to look into that next time.
Like, if you look at, okay, like if like here's the comparison. If you look at like the Iron Man HUD design from like Age of Ultron versus like the Black Panther HUDs, they are drastically different.
They definitely, But to be fair, I mean, they're trying, like, the animators are spread so thin. Like, some of them are like trying to make She-Hulk work, and other ones
Oh
are
my
are
lord.
working on Quantum Mania, and
Oh, good
it's
grief.
like,
I don't want to talk about fucking She-Hulk. I don't want to talk about that. That's a whole separate thing on itself. Can we get back? Can we just get back to like the fuck CGI mess that was that final battle? Because that whole thing just pissed me off.
yeah, well,
I don't think I had a problem with the CGI. Surprisingly, it
In what?
wasn't as bad as the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It wasn't like sort of in your face with it. They were
yeah.
like the final fight with
What specifically was bad? Was it like on the boat or was it like the 1v1?
No, on the bow was what I had the
I
problem
felt
with.
the boat for sure.
Okay.
Like, I
The
felt,
the
especially
final
Ironheart.
Yeah,
Ironheart looked fake as shit.
the final battle between Namor and Shuri was actually really good. I was like, just keep going towards that. I don't give a fuck about
top
the bow.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
that was top tier 1v1 right there, and she
Yeah.
was raw as fuck. She was raw. I like that.
I liked the story of like where they brought that story.
It's really
Because
good.
there is a moral dilemma in that character of she's taking on the mantle with a view of revenge.
Yeah,
Like, she's not looking at it. You know what I mean? She had to grow in that moment. And that is a problem that I've had with Marvel female characters, that they're just trying to shove it. Like, they don't learn. They don't have like a soul or anything like that. And I felt like they actually did something with Shuri. But I would have to say there are some parts where Shuri's like, I'm the Black Panther, and I'm going to kill you. And I laughed my ass off, because I'm just like, this 90-pound girl is taking on this fucking 200-pound fish man with wings on his ankles. I mean, it's the suspension of disbelief is stretched really.
I would agree.
Peter Parker.
What
Tom
about
Holland,
Peter
Parker. He's like probably the same size as Shuri though.
Dog.
And
But he's
shorter.
ripped.
He's ripped though.
But
Yeah, but he's like short and maybe 200 pounds wet at best.
Who? Tom
Holland. Yes.
100 pounds.
What did I say? 200, like 100
You said
pounds at
200.
best.
Oh,
I'm
100.
sorry,
200.
100 pounds.
Okay, 100. Okay, yeah.
100 pounds at best. I was gonna say, I'm sorry. But okay, I would agree with the statement that Link said. But Namor was actually whooping ass for majority of that fight, and he was still weakened.
Yeah.
This is when he was drying up, and Shuri outright said, I cannot fight him one-on-one. I have to find like some other shit just to put him like at least a little bit to my advantage. And even still, he was whooping ass.
So
this is smart. She's using her head. I like that
the
shit.
Batman approach.
That
was smart. That was just
that's some Spider-Man shit. I like that.
That part was like, they didn't just like shove like, okay, she's Black Panther. Now she automatically just whoops Namor's ass. It was like, no, there's steps that had to be taken in order to fight Namor. Like that part was like,
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, did T'Challa trained before he drank the purple juice, didn't he?
Yeah.
That purple drink.
Yeah.
He did, right?
He did.
So like Shuri never really did that. Like I mean,
or they maybe didn't show.
No, they definitely established like in the lore. I think Kevin Feige said like in the Wakanda territory, like everybody in the royal family is trained by war because the queen was the general before Nkoye. So everybody in that family was trained in some sort of combat before their actual profession. So it's not like Shuri. So it's not like Shuri was like a white belt when she started the mantle. She actually had some combat experience.
Okay.
She did handle that spear though. Like there was that one part where she did fight in the first one. Like I remember she did fight in the first one.
Yeah.
I completely like forgot about that. Like I blanked out on that.
She was the tech person, but she would put you in an arm bar if she had to.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. It's but I like how they like at the end M'Baku kind of took her place. Like the queen will not be here today, but I will fight any challengers. I like how they just like because before I saw the movie, I was like, so is anybody gonna challenge Shuri for the mantle of Black Panther of King? Because I mean, she's pretty much just a 90-pound girl without the purple drink in her.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
So I'm glad they addressed it. They made a joke out of it. It's funny, and we're just gonna leave it at that. I'm not even gonna.
You know she's gonna lose.
Not gonna sweat it. I'm not gonna sweat it. It is what it is.
If she came out the
she's like Black Widow. I mean,
yeah, like
she's like skilled in battle like her, then she'd definitely win. But
I still don't even like imagine like if she came down off that plane and was like, challenge me. I'm like, get the fuck back on the plane. Like, no, stop. No, you're not beating anybody without the juice. Stop.
No, wait, hold on a second. So what is Namor's weakness again?
He has the ability to absorb oxygen both from the water and the sea. When he's in a lot of heat, it deprives him of that oxygen from his skin. So he loses all of his strength and his abilities.
So I can kill Namor with a towel.
You can kill Namor in a desert.
Towel?
With a towel?
Oh no! A dry heater.
Well,
my only weakness. How did you know?
I mean, you got a point. You got a point.
Invite him over to your like apartment and have a heater on. Oh no!
I got a hair dryer for Namor. Come at me, bitch.
Namor goes to LA for a day and he's already like halfway dead.
But you see, why didn't they put Riri Williams? I keep calling her Riri Williams, and it just trips over my tongue. I'm gonna call her Ironheart from here on out. Yeah. They should have put Ironheart in the middle of the Sahara Desert. The fish people won't find her there.
Holy shit, that just solved like half of the problems.
Oh my god, okay. No,
right?
No, that's too much
logic. What were they doing on the bridge?
That's so much logic.
The bridge is over water. Where are the fish people? In the water.
You might have to cross a bridge at some point, maybe.
Well,
but they have stealth tech that goes anywhere around the world without like jurisdiction. Like they could have just dropped her in Egypt.
Yeah. The Wakandans are people who have hid from the world.
They can hide
for centuries. Yeah. And they can't hide this one chick.
That part. Oh my god! When you think about it for too long, okay, there's a lot of stuff that could have just avoided.
Oh
it does fall apart. But look,
that's with every movie, though. Not realize.
Yeah.
I mean,
except Captain America.
Yeah. I mean, well,
wait, which Captain America? Oh my lord! Okay, we're not gonna get. No, I'm not doing that.
The best movie ever. What?
The best movie.
Captain America 2?
Best Marvel movie ever.
Over Civil War.
I like it
over Civil War. Yeah, over Civil War. Like just it cleans it.
Oh my god, okay.
It's close. Those two movies are in my top 5 Marvel.
But they're close to me though. Head to head.
Yeah, those are my top 5.
Winter Soldier is my girlfriend's like favorite like all-time MCU, so I understand, but like I cannot pick that over Civil War. I can't.
She loves Captain America, boy. I remember when we used to go to class, she would have like Steve Rogers on her laptop. Background on her laptop. Like she loved.
It's not a Chris Evans
Captain America.
No,
it's Captain America.
It's Captain America. Like she just like adores him, and for some reason she ends up dating a black guy, which I don't know why, but we're gonna move on from that. So,
well, hey, Captain America's black now.
It's not doing it for her. It doesn't do it.
Oh man.
Hey, she has to apologize to me now, man. So T-Bisket, for context, I apologized to Trey's girlfriend for not liking Shang-Chi because she's Asian. Anyways, moving on. I actually don't hate Shang-Chi, but I have
I like
issues
Shang-Chi,
with
man.
it. I have
I have
like
issues with that too, but I want to stick on Black Panther because like I
okay,
have
let's
like
stay up.
Yeah,
I have two things that I actually applaud this movie for. They had the balls to remove Okoye from rank, and they had the balls to kill the queen the way they did.
yo, how the and it's how they did it too. Like they cut to the
Yeah.
like boom, we're here again. It was
Bruh,
oh,
I was in disbelief. I was like, yo, wait, what?
I was literally like, and the thing is, when I watched the movie, it was like an event, like so it's like black, like a bunch of black people in the theater, like it's actually 200 of us.
Oh no.
Some people dressed up and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Nice,
So
nice.
like, you know, the energy in the theater is just like,
On a different level.
yeah, different level, and they're mostly African too. And I'm located in Vancouver, so yeah, mostly. So like, yeah, the energy can be felt through every like scene and everything going on and stuff. But when that shit happened, woo, the death.
Yeah, man. That was hard. That
I
was
actually
hard.
thought like they were like gonna do the cliche thing where like, oh, she's dead, but then she's like in a coma in the
Like
hospital.
Nick Fury, yeah.
I thought they were gonna do that, but they just switched straight to the funeral. I'm like, oh my god, they did it.
She lost everybody.
She lost
She lost
everybody.
everybody.
And that's what made the ending so good. Like the secret ending is kind of
Yeah.
like it just ties in that. Oh man, they play with your heart in that movie. I ain't gonna lie. I think
They
All right,
did
let's
a-
get into the secret ending. What do y'all think about that?
oh
Um, I have mixed feelings about it. To be perfectly honest with you, I have really mixed
I
feelings about
understand.
it. I like, I was shocked. Like I actually was like, oh wow. Like, can we say it or?
Yeah, let's say it. We're
Okay, you know
spoiling it.
what? Okay. When I okay, this is T'Challa's son. I was like, oh shit, like that was good. But then I walked out of the theater and I thought, yo, hold on a minute. Like, this is the only way they could have saved T'Challa the name. And I'm just like, oh my, because like, okay, if T'Challa was really there in that movie, they would not do that. They wouldn't just like, okay, here's a son that was secretly hidden away. Like, they wouldn't do that. They
Yeah.
would introduce Azari or something like that. They wouldn't just
Right.
put like, my son is also named T'Challa, and this is going to be the next Black Panther because they like.
But you know what's
I
funny
don't.
about that? That I laughed at the scene. At first I was thinking I like the fact that a character has a legacy. Like Iron Man has a daughter.
Yep.
You know, there's something to pass. Not like the mantle, but like the next line of a hero.
Yep.
Right. So I was like, okay, I'm cool with this. I see that they're continuing, T'Challa's legacy in some sort of way, right?
Yeah.
The second thought I was thinking, why didn't they tell Shuri? I just hate
That
this.
is weird. That I don't get. Okay.
Because usually it's a cliche where a woman would have a baby for the hero, and then the hero finds out about this, like the last James Bond movie. And I was just like, why not just tell the person to begin with?
I have an answer for that, and somebody made this comment on a TikTok, and so the timeline goes when T'Challa was officially named King of Black Panther, him and what's the girlfriend's name again?
Nakia.
Nakia.
Yeah.
They had the child in the same year that T'Challa got snapped, and he was away for 5 years. So she was raising the son for the 5 years that she was gone. So
That's what
and
I
that
was
was
thinking,
also
yeah.
and that was also when Shuri was snapped along with T'Challa because she was confirmed as
Right.
missing too. So with the year that they came back was also the same year that T'Challa had the disease. And through that year, T'Challa had to inform his mother, okay, I have a son, this is where you're gonna take care of him, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And this is like when, okay, I'm dying, and Shuri was taking care of him the entire time. And in the movie they referenced when he was dying, it was not the right time to introduce my son because then it would put all the pressure of the mantle of the throne on him. They established that. So
Yeah.
when they point that out, like, okay, now everything makes sense.
But you wouldn't tell Shuri?
No, because like during the time where she was snapped for 5 years, and and they already made the plan to keep the son away from the throne. And then when T'Challa was dying, he specifically said, "I do not want my son to be introduced this way after I'm dead. I want him to be introduced after he's grown and he learns about his history." They established that during the ending of it. So I was like, okay, that part makes sense.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, yes,
guess.
it's shaky, but it's better than just like, oh, I have a son here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think that I like that explanation. It's good for like the whole Wakandan kingdom or like
Right.
outside of the immediate family, but for Shuri, like
Yeah,
she's not even like trying to
be informed. Yeah, I get it.
It's kind of
but I guess you could make the argument for like King T'Chaka knew about the nephew, but didn't say anything back to his family back home.
well, King T'Chaka is an asshole.
Yeah, but like it's not the same context. It's just like I killed my brother, but I left his nephew there. Like there's things that people are not going to be said in that fucking family for some reason.
Yeah.
What a fucking dick.
That's
he just left the kid in Oakland. Oh my god.
No, that's in Fruitvale Station.
Jesus Christ, man.
I think that's the darkest black dad joke you could ever make in that kind of movie. Like
what?
I couldn't abandon you, so I had my brother kill me and left your ass here. Like that's just
Yo,
oh man, that's so dark and unnecessary.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah,
if you think about it for more than 3 seconds, like
yeah, fair enough.
But what did you guys think of like the sun reveal?
Oh, I was just
I liked it. I thought it was a good way to recast T'Challa without recasting T'Challa. If you really catch how it is, it's.
Do you
get
think,
it? Like,
yeah. Let me ask you this, because do you think that they had the solid idea we're not recasting T'Challa? Then halfway through the production, they were like, "Okay, we actually need to continue this and have it and to please the audience." So then they had the meeting of introducing the son, because there's no like it just seemed so disconnected to me.
Yeah. So it kind of seems like it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think this was the decision like middle of production, like the direct. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I have nothing more to say. Yeah, it could possibly be. Yeah, they throw it in. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like if they were like halfway through production, they were like, "This is going good," but down the line, like we actually need to put T'Challa back in somehow without destroying the timeline. So let's have a creative meeting about it. Because I think they had the intention of like, okay, sure, he's the Black Panther. Then they thought about it for long enough and like, no, we actually need T'Challa. So this is the only way that we're going to save it.
Yeah. So I think like in a Secret War or something like that, there's gonna be some time dilation bullshit where he does become the Black Panther, and then he's sort of.
Link,
that is what I assume.
Oh no, because quantum media is gonna happen. Oh no.
It's the multiverse, guys.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen in the multiverse. Anything.
No, because
can
if
happen.
they do that, I'm gonna walk out the goddamn theater. I am not even joking. Like if you just set that up and then have like King the Conqueror mess up the timeline, and all of a sudden King T'Challa II is like 30 years old now. Fuck you. I'm walking out. No. I
mean, you've seen Loki. They do a bunch of weird shit in that. Like they don't care. There's no logic to any of this anymore.
No, but Link, think about this for a second. If you're gonna go that far to the extreme, why didn't you just cast T'Challa in the first place? You're going that length just to have T'Challa back? Just recast him. Come on.
I mean, I ain't saying you're wrong, man. I ain't saying you're wrong, but these guys, These
Oh
Marvel guys, man, they don't.
no.
I don't think they know what they're doing.
They're lost right now.
Like
But just to loop it back in, I think like it, so like outside of the setting up for future stuff, like in the present, like in the movie, I think you kind of see like, Shuri just went through a whole bunch of losses and all that stuff, and I feel like this was like her first win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like not in terms of self, but having like, oh, I have family, like I haven't lost my bloodline or anything. So it's kind of like it's like she needed that win, like that kind of
she needed a family. Like she just lost so much.
Yeah.
Now she finally has gained something. Like she is an aunt. She, and
So
there's a lot of like storyline, like there's a lot in the story about legacy and tradition and learning from previous people's mistakes. And even with the first Black Panther, how T'Challa had to confront T'Chaka about like you did this wrong, and it's a stain on our whole family. It's confronting your past, embracing the future. There's just a lot of things in there. I mean, I don't love everything that was in this movie, but I just thought that it ended strong. Like
It did.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought for Shuri, who still, I don't know if she'll be a good Black Panther moving on forward, but I know this first step, I'm okay with it. Like but I don't know if I'm saying that because Phase 4 has been so shit, and I'm just starved for something, just for something competent enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I don't think it's that, because I feel when I watched that movie, I feel like I wasn't watching like a Marvel movie, and I feel like once something feels too Marvel-y, I'm just like, I'm turned off at this point right now with
I agree.
Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Except if like Spider-Man, I look forward to that. But
yeah,
I didn't feel like I was watching and stuff. Even with the first Black Panther movie, felt like something. Just watching a movie, like the Woman King with people with powers.
Yeah. Right.
So
and it goes back to Ryan Coogler's direction, Ryan Coogler's writing.
Yeah.
When you can, and there's parts in the movie where you can feel this is Ryan Coogler right here. He is putting his heart out. Whenever you see something real, when they go to Haiti, when they, when Nakia met with, when the Queen Mother met with Nakia, that scene, there's just so much love in the direction of it. Like you can feel it. And when Marvel gets his hands in there, that's when you feel, oh, this is a little. They're setting up a show down the road. This is a Marvel thing right here.
There's
Not
no way that
feeling this
Ryan.
part.
There's no way that Ryan said, "I want Ironheart in it." There's no way he said that. There's no way he said, "I want to make this a strict Black Panther," and then Disney said, "Yeah, but we need to have this in."
Yes.
It's like you didn't need to. Like,
Yeah.
no, like don't put your Disney shit. If Ryan was like, let's say hypothetical, like he had his own independent thing and he just made Black Panther the way he wanted everything to be put out, this would have been a million times better.
Maybe a 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Yo, what you just said there, you could say that for Doctor Strange too. The director of the first Doctor Strange, he had like an idea that he wanted to do. Marvel wanted to do, all of this other shit and set up all this other stuff and have all these cameos, and that's movie's a complete mess. That's why he left. And Sam Raimi came in because, I mean, that's more of a director for hire job that he just took. It's not like, I don't think Sam Raimi cared as deeply as that. Like, for example, how he felt about like the Spider-Man movie that he did back in the day. So it's just director for, like, Quentin Tarantino has probably one of the best takes of this. I can't do a Marvel movie because it's director for hire work, and you don't get to put your it's not completely you. Because even
Right.
Ryan Coogler,
Yeah.
it's like some of the scenes in Black Panther are so him, it's not even funny. But then he has to compromise. He has to, and the action scenes, why the action scenes stick out to me, and they've been sticking out to me since phase 3. They're like in the previs stage before the script's even finished. You know what I mean? So you have that's why the action scenes sort of feel disjointed sometimes, because it just the writer is sort of just leading its way to that, and the directors don't even direct the action some of the times. Like they didn't even trust. They would hire a female director to do Black Widow or whatever, but they won't let her do the action sequences. That's why directors have been leaving Marvel,
Yeah.
for a while now, because it's that system is just so hands-on.
Yeah.
And it could never be your movie if you do a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And I could imagine like a director, you have a lot of, pride in your work. Like you want things to be a certain way. It has to be, and it's like too much of that is like against the whole, it's against art. It's anti-art, I would say. And I feel like that's probably why to leave.
I think Kevin Feige actually went to bat for Ryan to say, like, no, Ryan is going to do Chadwick justice. Let him do his fucking thing. And he had to compromise, like, maybe one or two things. But overall, when you look at the scope of the movie, you could tell how much of his fingerprints, like Ryan's fingerprints, were on certain things and certain, like, scenes and lines. And, like the dialogue, I know he fought tooth and nail. Like, I'm keeping this, I'm doing this, and I'm keeping this. And the attack on Wakanda, I'm like, that there's no way that Disney would let him do any of that. Like, he fought for that. Because that was raw.
That was raw.
That was the best attack in like a peak climax thing I've seen probably since Infinity War. Like, that was just I take that back. That energy of Namor attacking was the same level of energy that I saw in Green Goblin from No Way Home. That was the same type of feeling I got.
I like when he was like sort of flying outside of the window before he attacks the Queen, and he's just there flying his little ankle wings fluttering and shit, and he's just there and he's looking in, and you can see like, he was so animalistic in that moment.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think that's, I have an issue with him turning good, because he's so cold.
Yeah,
this man is so cold. Like, I think I would believe it more if they had like some sort of honor system, whereas if you yield, then you have to, like, whatever is the demands, you follow that. But I find it hard to believe someone like him is like, okay, I lost, I'm good now, we good.
No, it's definitely on his terms. It's definitely like a Magneto move, where it's like, I'm gonna be your ally now, but only because you're gonna need to turn to me. You don't have any allies because you're not giving up your vibranium.
Yeah.
So nobody likes you. When they come for you,
you're
gonna have to call somebody.
Is that how he's? Well, I mean, that's okay.
That's how he said that.
It didn't seem menacing when he said it. So, like, I thought he was just being like actually friendly. So I'm like,
no, he actually said to his right hand, he said, when Wakanda's in trouble, they will come to me. And
they'll come to me. Yeah.
Yeah, he said that. And I was like, I had a real problem with Shuri saying, like, stand down or Wakanda comes to your town, comes to your city. And I thought to myself, okay, but you do understand that right now your country is losing to them, right? Like,
it's losing bad.
Like, if you weren't gonna save them, like, they would have all jumped to sea. Like, that was not like a big threat. Like, Wakanda was not winning that fucking war.
Yeah, exactly. How many warriors were on the boat at the time because they drowned like a whole bunch of people.
They were down to like their top 12 at least.
Yeah. Like Wakanda
versus,
doesn't
like,
have an army.
They were down to like 12 people out of like the 200 that were quartering them on that ship. They were going to die.
Yeah.
That threat kind of just like, okay, yeah, Namor's done. Okay, cool. But if he dies, the second right hand, which is the woman, I can't remember her name, she would have just finished business.
Oh yeah,
like
wipe them out easy.
Yeah,
She was tight. Yeah.
she was a threat. She was like, okay, him and that big burly dude. I was like, okay,
Big guy. Yeah.
yeah, that guy when they faced Okoye, that was probably the most natural warrior beef I have seen probably since Avatar. Like Avatar, like the good Avatar, not the
The last
stupid.
Airbender.
Yeah, not the last Airbender. Like that, like the natural warrior respect and I want to fight. It's on site every time I see you was so natural. I was like, I'm not mad at Okoye losing and then winning again because she studies and learns. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was good.
That was
And
really
I miss, and I
was
miss
really
that about Marvel, man. I miss that like characters that are just so badass they would just kill you. Like I miss those old days, the Hydra days, you know? I can't like I keep saying this on every podcast that I've done. Thor Love and Thunder broke my heart, man.
It
Because
did.
I still haven't
Because-
seen it, but you could talk about it.
all right, well,
Okay, cool.
I don't
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
spoil anything, but basically they don't show. Okay, so you have a villain. Your villain is called the God Butcher, but you never see him butcher any gods. You see him kill one god, but that's it.
Like,
And he's played by Christian Bale.
yeah, like that was the biggest fumble of the bag I have ever seen for a Marvel. Okay, let me put it this way: Gore the God Butcher should have been what Namor was in this goddamn movie. Like the Gore in the comics, I don't know if you've ever seen it, Biscuit, but he
No.
takes on 3 Thors from 3 different timelines at once and kills one of them. He kills Prince Thor, he kills Marvel 616 Thor and King Thor, and he takes all 3 of them at
616
once.
Thor?
Yeah,
Wow.
and he takes all 3 of them down at once.
Wow.
That's how powerful he is. So when I'm watching this movie, my heart is broken.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this guy should have been like the next level threat that Thor should be like, okay, I haven't felt this challenge since Thanos. Why can't I beat this guy? And then he gets beat by children. Jesus Christ. I wanted to slip like,
Okay, so for context, Thor somehow gave his Thor powers to children.
I don't want to watch this movie.
okay, without any context, I want to there's a little girl that takes her toy bunny with Thor's powers, holds it out like this, and shoots lightning at all of the demon characters in the last final fight. And she screams, I have power too. At that moment, I wanted to walk out that goddamn theater.
Val loved it though.
Yeah, do you really have to ask why? Do you even have to ask why? So Link.
So the kid was like Shazam then.
Yes,
That's exactly
it
what I
was
said. That's exactly what I
Shazam.
said.
It was exactly, yeah.
I actually like
Shazam did it better,
That's the
though.
funny thing.
Link, you want
Actually,
to hear you want to hear something funny? So
Yeah.
at the final fight, after the last goddamn goat sound, I was done with the movie. But then when we got
The
to
last goat sound. How about the second goat sound?
I-
like
I-
every
I was tolerant.
T-Bisket. I shit you not. They kill that joke. That like the goats, the screaming goat. That man, there's a whole internet meme about it.
They killed it. They murdered it in front of its mother and let it lay. Like it.
Marvel.
So Link, at one point, me and Val were watching this, and we get to the end fight, and I whisper in her ear, "Babe, I'm not gonna lie to you. if they do this one more fucking time, I'm walking out of this goddamn theater. And she looks at me and she goes, "Why? It's so cool!" Like, and I'm like, "Babe, this is a Shazam movie. This is not a Thor. Why are fucking children fighting a god butcher? Do you know what butcher means, babe?" And she goes, "Yeah, I know what it means." Then why the fuck are children fighting a god butcher? Because they want to promote the children. I don't give a fuck about the children, babe. I want to see God butching. I'm going to walk out the theater and you can walk your ass home because if you like this movie right now, I am dumping you.
Wow, that's
Like,
I may have had that discussion with my wife. I think she didn't like the Batman, and I was like, I don't know if this marriage is working. I don't know. Because I didn't think the Batman was that bad, but like you really hate it, so I don't know.
like she hates it.
She hates it. She hates it. She says it's too long. It's too dark. It's bad, you know. I'm like, it's a Batman movie.
Remind me again. Is your wife's not a comic book nerd, right?
I think she said that just so that I would like her more. Because like I don't think
scammed. He's been scammed.
I think she scammed me, man. Like I don't know if she likes movies. I know she likes movies. She likes she did like Black Adam.
I need to see. I'm behind on superhero movies in general, so I'm gonna need to see that. I actually want to watch Black Adam. Black Adam is fun. Black Adam. Like what's the last one? The Batman. I could wait. Thor.
I would say for the Batman, I would say watch it in intervals because it gets to be a chore. But there are things in the Batman that I like. I would say probably like if I had to say my top 3 comic book movies of the year, I would put Black Adam on top. Maybe the Batman, then Wakanda. But I might switch it. Depends on how I feel if I watch the Batman again. Because I liked it, but I didn't love it. You know, like you know, so and I'm biased because I like Ben Affleck better. So
that's true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I don't know. I mean, do you know about the end credit scene in Black Adam? Do you know about it?
Oh, me?
T-Bisket? Yeah.
Oh, no. I haven't watched the movies. I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
boy. Okay.
But I want to watch it though.
That's fine. You check that out and you let me know what you think of that.
Okay. Okay.
I could understand why people are so up in arms about how, you know, T'Challa is replaced by Shuri, because in a vacuum, it seems like the logical step. If the actor dies or if that character dies, the sister takes on the mantle and stuff like that. It happens in the comics for a very short time and all that sort of thing. But because every single franchise is sort of replacing its male sort of center with the female, like Terminator, they killed John Connor and replaced him with like a Latin chick. Star Wars, they killed Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, replaced both of them with a girl who stole all their stuff. What other franchise is there? It happens like all the time. James Bond, they killed him. Now, what's her name?
The
from
Black
Captain Marvel has 007, the designation number. So it's every franchise is sort of doing this thing. In the Masters of the Universe cartoon, they kill off He-Man and Skeletor, and then the women of the show are like, man, we have been in the shadow of these men for so long. It's like, I mean, okay, you have an argument there, but I don't want to see that in Masters of the Universe, where half-naked men are fighting each other, which is homoerotic, but still.
Yeah, true.
Said it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm always on the side of, I'm like kind of in the middle of everything where it's kind of like, make it make sense.
Yeah.
Don't just do it as a trend. How they've been doing it is just very shallow. They're just doing it just to do it, and then they haven't been performing well, for the
And
most
that's-
part.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's sort
So
of the
it's
thing.
like-
It's
Yeah. So that's just my thing.
what do y'all think about these girls on what was it? TikTok or something like that, saying that white people can't come to the opening of Black Panther. And
Shut the fuck up.
That's
Shut the
dumb shit.
Shut
That's
the
dumb shit.
fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You're not any better than the white people saying you can't come to movie theaters because we're watching like whatever freaking movie you want to watch that day. That's not the same. That's the same thing. Like
yeah,
That's-
could you imagine like white people saying you can't come and watch the Northman? You stay
No.
outside and then you stop people from coming in.
yeah,
That's
Trying
no.
to
no.
hurt me.
Yeah, no.
I could
Shut up.
only understand it if there's like a specific event, like for example, the event that I went to, it was put on by an organization called Black Girls Collective.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it was them and another one joined up, another Black org joined up. So I was like, I don't think it was like strictly Black only, but it's just like it's encouraged and stuff. So like I was just advertised to those people in the
Yeah.
following them. So like there's like one or two who were like not Blacks. It's like, whatever. Like if you're here, like cool, whatever. We're not gonna say, oh, you can't come into the theater or
Right.
anything. We
Yeah.
just want to create like that environment for for us to come together, just like feel this big moment, especially in Chadwick,
And-
passing away and all that stuff. It's just more powerful. So
Enjoy the movie, tighten your weave, and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's just a movie. It's not like a life-changing
Yes, it is.
sort of
It's
event.
Marvel.
I mean, Marvel's not there anymore. But
Yeah, that's
I
true.
would
They're not
say
No.
after a very disappointing couple of years, I would say that I enjoyed this one, and it's very flawed. It's a very mixed bag for me, but it's more positive for me because especially when I cash this Marvel check. So so I would give it I would say a 6.5.
Wow.
Whoa. Ho, ho,
It's not
ho.
bad. That's
That
pretty
is-
good.
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
It's pretty good. It's a
like a
6.5,
movie like
man.
that?
That's
Damn. I'm watching you different, bro.
Man, you're Simon Cowell when it comes to Marvel movies, man. Like even when other people think it's good, you're just like, nope, you're still shit.
there's too many women in there, man. There's too many. Too much estrogen and
I'm dead.
no, but it's I love these characters. I love the women. I love seeing them interact with each other. I just wish that the story was better written. I just wish there were certain things that were not in it. I just wish it was better handled, man. And that's been the problem for that Marvel has been having ever since like phase 2 or maybe 1. So it's ingrained in it, but compared to the other shit, like everything else is like a 4 or a 3 out of 10 to me. So
I agree.
anyways, Trey, what's your grade?
I still have it as a 9 out of 10, just from what they use, and like 9 out of 10, just from like what they use and like how effective it actually was. And it's still like to me right now is like in my top 5 of Marvel movies of all time. So
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
Marvel really sent you a big check, didn't they?
I wish
Big
they
fat check.
I wish they should have sent me a check to watch that Love and Thunder bullshit.
Yeah. Hey, She-Hulk is great. Marvel, if you're listening, please hire me. I love She-Hulk. It's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it. Yeah, I'm sticking with 8.5. I think. Yeah, I felt really good watching it. I like the slow parts. Like there's some pacing where they just really took their time and blah blah blah. I mean, of course, like the biggest issue I only have with the movie was the end with the war, But yeah, it was cold. It was cold. It's a good movie. Yeah.
I'm good on Marvel for a while. Like maybe until like
I love
Daredevil or
Ant-Man though, at least, but the quantum stuff, I mean, let's see.
We'll see. But no, I'm not having high hopes for it.
I'm tired, bro.
Yeah.
I'm marveled out. I need DC to step up now.
Yeah, or something new, some independent comic, something.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna watch like a Hallmark movie or something. Like I think I'm just the superhero stuff. Like just something nice, just something like a romantic comedy or something. That's where I'm at. But anyways, thanks for coming out. Listeners, if you're there still, thanks for listening, and we will see you guys later. Take care.